Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism. Well, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Ouija, tool or tease. Now, as you already know, the Ouija board is a game that supposedly allows one to communicate with the departed, angels, demons, whatever. Now, talking boards have been around for hundreds of years. It was only in the 1890s that what we know of as a Ouija board came into existence. I believe it was in the 60s when Parker Brothers bought the rights to the talking board and began to sell it in toy stores. So, as far as an explanation is concerned about how the Ouija actually works, if you talk to psychologists and a lot of people in the, I guess even neurology, neuropsychological field, what they say is that the Ouija is a matter of ideomotor responses. Once you put your hands on the planchette with your friends or family or whomever, what's happening is that your hands are making minuscule movements that are in keeping with what's going on inside you. So you may have an idea of a response, what a response would be, and then somehow, the aggregate movements of everyone together will point it to letters. So that's the psychological version of what that is. Now, if you were to talk to spiritualists, which is where the whole talking board phenomena came from, the people who, in our past, I believe this began really in the 1850s, 1860s onward. It was actually very fashionable to talk to the dead in our country. You have Abraham Lincoln and his wife attending seances. It was a really big thing, and there are still at least 3 or 4 spiritualist camps around the country that one can go to and get readings and that sort of thing. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. So, according to the spiritualists, what's happening is that these spirits are actually working through us, through our bodies, in order to guide the movements of the planchette, through our hands. And that is what's actually occurring. So I guess in a sense, you could marry the two in that the ideomotor responses are from a subtle spirit influence on us when we're playing. And, it's quite a possibility. Now, as far as what I think about the Ouija, because I've played with it in the past for several years, so I have a lot of experience logged on playing the Ouija. The Ouija has a mystique. It has a creepy quality to it. In my opinion, there is a massive egregore, a massive thought form around this whole practice, which gives everyone that kind of feeling. It's almost like this, okay, I'm curious, I'm fascinated, but I also I have a little bit of an aversion to it. And I think part of that is the beliefs that people have had, the Hollywood movies. I mean, even in the last 6-7 years, where they've had a lot of Ouija movies, Ouija Experiment, Ouija 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. All those movies are come out, so there's been more of a resurgence in the Ouija. But just to let you know, it never really went away. They've done studies where the Ouija has become, more popular during times of crises when people want answers, especially after wars or economic downturns. It was when I say in the 1800s, the late 1800s, it became popular with spiritualism and and the Ouija being a tool of that. What do we have? In the 1860s, with the end of the Civil War, so you had massive amounts of people dead, and people wanting to communicate with those that have passed on, their friends and family that were soldiers. So you have that. And part of this, my opinion, that egregore is that there's a mixed message here. One is that, okay, this is only a game. Okay, this is something to play with. This is fun. We're going to actually put this on the shelves of Toys R Us, and so little kids can buy it, and we'll play with it. And you could possibly talk to the dead. So there's a serious and there's a not so serious element to it, which creates this sort of egregore. And I think that is the Ouija's downfall as a practice. And this is my opinion, of course. Last video, I think I talked about maneuvering around deceptive spirits. Spirits that are less than honest, that are a little manipulative, tell you things that aren't true, and various reasons why that is. In the Ouija, in my experience, you're going to encounter that a lot. In fact, that's going to be the order of the day. And it's part of it is that this incongruity, that fun and entertainment, and then it's something serious. So you're going to get these really playful spirits, these little mischievous things that come around and want to indulge in this playful type of activity. And people sometimes are playing with it, just with the Ouija, saying, "Oh, well, let's see what this is about," and "Oh, this isn't serious." So you're going to encounter a lot of this, and you're going to, in my opinion, encounter a lot of negative entities this way. I've noticed in myself when I was playing, and in my friends who were playing, that once we got really engaged in it, it took maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, where we would actually start to get drained and get tired for no reason. Here we are, we're just sitting around with our hands on a board, but where our energy is off. We were losing energy, and we actually had to kind of take a break or stop altogether. So when the spiritualists say these spirits may be working through us, that's quite a possibility. They may be adjusting our energy field, they may be attaching to us in order to do that. And if we have this this game, this tool where we have these random capricious spirits around, then I think that kind of makes sense to me. Another thing I found is that I would again come across these types of spirits. I would rarely, if ever, could I find a high-level spirit. I suspect that high-level spirits would not communicate with somebody through this device. I think that they were probably more likely to come to you in the middle of the day, in your daydreams, maybe in your nighttime dreams, maybe in meditation and prayers, that sort of thing. But, I would normally encounter these mischievous spirits that I kind of mentioned to you. Another thing I've noticed is that for people who are serious into spirit communication, talking to otherworldly spirits, that the Ouija may have been a stepping stone, but it's kind of like something you grow out of. That most people who've been doing it for a period of time will contact their guides, their masters, maybe the departed, in non-Ouija board type of ways, maybe through meditation, maybe through doing various other things, but they tend to leave the Ouija board alone. Just because, just naturally, if you were to do a study, there'd be far more either negative or neutral experiences with the Ouija than positive. They far outweigh it, and I think that's why it tends to have a little bit of a bad reputation. And that's basically it. I'd like to hear maybe your comments on the Ouija. I in no way want to discourage anybody from exploring different areas of the paranormal, the occult. But I did want to kind of share my opinion on the Ouija, since sometimes people ask me. And by the way, a little bit off the Ouija, I have my Patreon account. If you want to look at some other videos, you have to subscribe to it. I put some new videos up if you've never been there. So what I've normally done is taken some videos that I put on YouTube and then have another video that is either advanced material or expands upon it. So I have videos on meditations for the void, techniques and principles for evocation. I just put one up for the power of financial servitors, how to attract money with dollar bills, actually using physical type of things in order to attain prosperity. So if you're interested in any of that, I'm going to put a link at the bottom on Patreon. So if you want to check that out and subscribe. The way that it's set up is that for that monthly kind of subscription, it's $3 and you'll have access to all the stuff. In addition, you'll have the ability to look at some things that I'm writing in my new book. So you'll have advanced knowledge of what's going on with that. So in any case, thank you for listening, and I will see you in a future video. Bye.